If you're not a car person, going to a mechanic is kind of like going to a doctor. They rule and you're as clueless as a child. Addy D. Jamal has some tips on how you can take control of your car, from buying and maintaining it to finding the perfect mechanic.
A lot of people feel completely overwhelmed when they have to deal with any kind of automotive issues.
A lot of people over the years have learned that they don't know anything about cars, so they're going to make the wrong decision if they're not led the correct way.
So we spoke with Kaya Milstein, CEO of Mechanic Shop Femme and a TikTok automotive educator with over 600,000 followers, for some empowering vehicular guidance. For starters, focus on the little things.
I feel like the big picture when it comes to your car often it just feels ultimately overwhelming.
And what happens is
people don't clean their cars, they don't check their tire pressure, they don't check their oil level, they skip mechanic visits.
Not because they don't want to take care of their car,
because it's so overwhelming and intimidating that there's just no good place to start.
So instead,
find a couple little things, one little thing you could do to better take care of your car, to make your car safer, to save you money in the long run.
She says, start with the simple thing, like checking your tire pressure.
Your tire pressure needs to be checked monthly.
Tire pressure is going to help make sure your tires don't wear unevenly, so you don't waste money replacing your tires.
It'll save money at the fuel pump too.
And then when you master that and that feels great, then add another thing.
Next, when buying a used car,
you're going to research, you're going to test drive the car, you're going to do all the things everybody does to buy a car.
But she says the biggest mistake people make is that they don't take it to a mechanic.
It'll cost you $100.
And she says it may save you money in the long run. Also, in her experience, she's had customers come in for service after they bought their cars.
And discovering the brakes are falling apart, the suspension is shot.
So, when you've decided on your vehicle, tell them you want a pre-purchase inspection.
If you're purchasing the used car from a dealership, they might make you leave, some form of a deposit.
But a private seller may not be familiar with this.
So you may just have to educate them that this is the standard practice of how to buy a used car.
If they don't agree, walk away. If they do, once the inspection is done, ask the mechanic
to give you an estimate for any work that's necessary. It's written documentation of the problem, gives you an idea of how much it's going to cost so that you can then use that in your budget.
Finally, date your mechanic. Wait, what?
I would not say it's a good idea to date your mechanic in the traditional sense. I mean, unless you want to.
But start the process of developing a relationship with a mechanic you trust.
Make your first appointment for an oil change service and see how it feels. Ask a lot of questions. See if they have the patience to answer your questions.
You want to be sure to understand what is needed and why.
It's like a date. If you don't click, try someone else.
The most important thing when it comes to dating your mechanic is don't wait until your car is falling apart.
Grabbing the wheel and taking control of your car.